Go get 'em, Tiger. Row.
We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em, Tiger. World Series bound and picking up steam. Go get 'em, Tiger. There'll be joy in Tiger Town. We'll sing you songs when the Bengals bring the pennant home where it belongs. We're all behind our baseball team. Go get 'em. Detroit Tigers. Go get 'em, Tigers.
Aha! Little fun thing to start off the episode with.
You know there's a new song for that.
There is? I have not heard it yet.
Oh, I put it in the Discord when they won.
I like the old one. It's classic.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to Talking NASCAR Podcast. Back again with the one and the only Hitmaster. We are celebrating a Tigers
Hello, everybody.
playoff series win.
We're not only celebrating a Tigers playoff win, but we're also celebrating the Lions beating the crap out of those birds from the Washington side.
That's right, baby. Good times to be a Lions and Tigers fan. But we're going to talk some NASCAR today. Here on episode number 96 of the podcast. The Kansas race is in the books. Now, I made a mistake last episode. I thought the Truck Series cutoff was last week at Bristol for the playoffs. It was actually this week. So, granted, nothing changed, but we will highlight it again just because that's how it was. So, my apologies. My bad. I didn't know. But we'll get down to it. The Kansas, pretty crazy weekend stuff going there. Only have a couple of other things to talk about besides the Kansas race, including one pretty big thing. But then, of course, we got the big race this weekend at Talladega, and we will preview all of that action that should be coming there as well. So, let's just jump right into it. So I get my water. What? It's spelled. My water's spelled. God damn it. There we go.
You know the Tigers won again, real. You know the Tigers won again.
Now that's the real one. Okay, but continue.
Okay. So for the Truck Series in their actual first round playoff cutoff race, a lot of drivers are getting loose in this race. I didn't actually watch the race. I watched the highlights. But man, there was a lot of drivers that were just getting really, really loose. A lot of drivers getting into the wall. Contenders and guys in the back were just really sliding around. I don't know what the whole ordeal with that was. It was early on in the race, late in the race. It didn't really matter. Nobody was really safe either. It just kind of happened. Just kind of kept happening. Other than that, wasn't too much action in the first couple of stages. Everything was pretty tame for everything standards. There was a pretty big wreck early on in stage 3 that took out Matt Mills and I think it was Tyler Gray. I don't remember. Then it became a fuel mileage race at the end. Fuel became a pretty big factor as coming to the white flag, Ty Majeski from the lead runs out of gas. And Corey Heim is able, woohoo, Corey Heim getting the win. Woo! Corey Heim win. Woo! Regardless, Corey Heim was able to get the pass for the win. A few other trucks ran out of gas at the end too, including Ben Rhodes, who was right there on that playoff bubble cut line, but ran out of gas, which killed his chances of winning, or chances of moving on at least. After a pretty solid run for Ben Rhodes. Those kind of suck. Daniel Dye also eliminated after another poor showing, full of issues. Back-to-back poor runs from Daniel Dye. Took out the only driver who did not win his way into the playoffs. So can't be too surprised there, but they are the ones that got eliminated from the truck race. And otherwise, yeah, I will say, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm not a huge fuel mileage race fan. I think they're boring. Usually, especially lately, everybody says they're low on fuel, but barely anybody ever runs out of gas. Of course, there's the times when somebody does run out of gas, like the Gateway Cup race, and then this one too, but most of the time they don't, and it's just kind of unnecessary suspense. But otherwise, it's still a pretty decent race overall. For the Xfinity Series, as they were kicking off their playoffs, Sammy Smith, who was the last driver to get in, spun out early, which kind of killed his chances to win. He wasn't completely out of the race with that, but pretty much didn't have a shot to win after that. Taylor Gray lost a motor to end the first stage, kind of went up in smoke after that. Justin Allgaier, the number 1 seed of the playoffs, coming in. He wrecked to start stage 2, so not a great start to the playoffs for the championship favorite, Justin Allgaier. Riley Herbst also went around at the end of stage 2, but thankfully he was okay after the spin. Nothing super crazy happened to him. And then early on in the third stage, a loose tire coming off of pit road. I believe it was Cole Custer's car, or Cole Custer almost hit the tire. Again, I did not watch the Xfinity race, so I don't exactly remember, but tire ran out of pit road onto the infield. That caused that issue, that brought out a yellow. And then it was pretty much clean racing after that. It came down to a pretty intense finish. Cole Custer fighting it out, but got a late pass for the win from Eric Almirola, who was able to get around them both, get around Custer, and secure the win to become the 4th different driver to win now 2 races in the 20 car. You'd think if they translated all those wins to just one driver and let them run full time, they'd be a championship favorite. But no. I guess Almirola was supposed to run full time and then he got suspended. So, oh boy. But he got the win. 2nd win of the season for him. So a good win there for Eric Almirola. Then for the Cup race, there was a big wreck on the opening lap of the race. Took out Harrison Burton, which nobody cares about Harrison Burton anymore. He's out of the playoffs. Josh Berry was taken out as well, controversially because he spun out, but his tires were too flat for him to drive back, so they towed him straight to the garage, and he was done for the day, which was very controversial. NASCAR said that they're backing their decision to do that, and are going to maybe look to redo it. Let's kind of change the rule up. We've seen this happen before in past years with this next-gen car. Berry probably wasn't going to win anyways, so. Oh well. Just don't flatten your tires next time. Early on, Kyle Larson also had a pretty bad start to this playoff run as he did the last round. He got on the wall, and while he wasn't out of the race, he was stuck off the lead lap for much of it. And did make somewhat of a run at the end, but he lost out on some valuable points, and he's not in any near good position right now to advance. He's got to have a good run. Like I said, he had a terrible run in Atlanta. He wrecked. Watkins Glen was not good for him either. He dominated at Bristol, and he was probably going to get down on points anyways. But this stage, anything's possible. So he's got to kind of pick his stuff up there. Also, Eric Jones spun in stage 2, got into the grass. Daniel Hemrick also had a spin. He went around. And then right after that, on the restart, Justin Haley, now in his first race with the Spire 7 car, and got into a wreck with John Hunter Nemechek on the restart. Austin Cindric spun out later on in the race as well, after he was having a pretty good race. His first true, really bad race in the playoffs, which sucks because of the points reset. He's below the cut line to start, and so you don't want to have a bad run like that. But I think he has the potential to recover. And then probably the most funniest and also most tragic of the cautions throughout the race was Kyle Busch. We've been talking about Kyle Busch a lot because he has been kind of pretty much in a career regression all season long. And he was up front in a very prime position to win this race. He was fighting with Ross Chastain for the lead. Then they made green flag pit stops, and he had an impeccable green flag pit stop, got him way out front, and it was seemingly in a position to win the race when he and Daniel Suarez got together coming off of turn 2 with just 6 laps to go, and Kyle Busch went spinning, and he kept it going for a still good finish, but couldn't really win after that. Pretty disappointing. Kyle Busch's chances of keeping that win streak alive are consistently dwindling. He's down to now just 6 races left that he can do it, and this seemed like one that he could do it from, but it will not be. Then on the restart after that, Carson Hocevar went around for a spin. Shout out Carson Hocevar, though. Even with the spin, he had a really good run going. He got a good amount of stage points. He was up front all day. So really, really good run from him. But at the end of the day, we got a new winner. The Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain, is back in victory lane. Holds on late for the win.
Should have been Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch should have won. Briscoe's a bitch.
Could have been. Oh yeah, it was Chase Briscoe, not Daniel Suarez. It seems like I never really watched these fucking races, dude. I always forget
But it'd
that.
be something that Daniel Suarez would do, though, to help his teammate win.
True. Ross Chastain, though, he put on a good run at the end. He was up there at the front. Definitely earned it. Got the win. He's a non-playoff driver, so nobody's formally locked into the second round yet. So I guess nobody's locked in formally in the Xfinity Series either because non-playoff driver won that one too. But Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain wins. He's back. We got the smash of Watermelon. That was pretty cool. He also, while he's not contending for a championship, he does get the ultimate prize of being in my New Year's Eve spectacular race again this year. It looks like he wasn't going to get in, but he is locked in. He's the 22nd driver to get in, which ties last year. Beats out last year now. So we're getting close to even tying it for the second all-time highest field list. So good job for Ross Chastain to get in to that, and good job on the win. So pull up what the standings look like now going towards what will be round 2 for the trucks now and into round 1 for Xfinity and also round 2 for Cup. So for the truck series, their standings. So like I said, now they're down to 8 drivers. 4 of them will be eliminated for the cutoff for the championship 4. So Corey Heim sits plus 38. He's in the lead. Christian Eckes plus 29. Ty Majeski plus 14. Nick Sanchez plus 8. Those are the 4 that would, if they got to the championship 4 today, that would be who would be fighting it out for the title. Drivers below the cut line, Rajah Caruth, 8 back. Tyler Ankrum, 11 back. Same with Grant Enfinger. They are tied for 6th, both 11 points back. And Taylor Gray, 15 points back in 8th. So it's still really anybody's race. Anybody can still get in. But it's just going to have to come down to craziness. Craziness at the end. So. And then for the Xfinity Series, after their first playoff race, Cole Custer sets 41 points above the cut line in the first. Chandler Smith second plus 36. Austin Hill third plus 26. Sam Mayer fourth plus 13. Sheldon Creed plus 10 in fifth. Shane Van Gisbergen, good run for him, plus 8 on the cut line in sixth. Jesse Love plus 3. And Riley Herbst plus 1. And then below the cut line, Justin Allgaier minus 1. AJ Allmendinger minus 13. Parker Kligerman minus 15. And Sammy Smith minus 23. So I guess the real big surprise there obviously being Justin Allgaier, but again, anybody can get in, anybody can get out. So it's just gotta be close with that one. And then the Cup grade for their playoffs. William Byron sits 34 above the cut line. Ryan Blaney plus 28. Christopher Bell also plus 28. Kyle Larson plus 18. Denny Hamlin plus 11. Alex Bowman gets back in above the cut line plus 8. He had another really good run. Chase Elliott plus 4. Same with Joey Logano. They're both plus 4. And then Tyler Reddick, the regular season points champion, currently sits 4 points back of advancing into the third round. That's very surprising. He had a pretty poor run at Kansas and could be in danger of getting eliminated, which would be real shocker. Daniel Suarez minus 14, Chase Briscoe minus 25, and Austin Cindric minus 29. So still, again, anybody can get in, but it's definitely starting to separate there, as it is, I guess, for all three series. But that's what it looks like right now for the playoffs, but still a lot of time and a lot of laps to go. So anything is possible. So I only have 2 other pieces of news. Well, that was Kansas, by the way. We can put Kansas, put it in the books. But so 2311 colleague announced they're getting a new driver for their Cup run. So they're bringing the 10 car up to Cup. That's not the part that I think pisses me off. The part that pisses me off is who's driving the car.
I have a feeling it's going to be Cole Custer.
Nope.
What?
Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon gets a full-time ride in 2025.
We already don't like his brother. Why add another?
He sucks. Oh my God, how many times have I said this before? Ty Dillon, he's not good. He's not good. He's had many, many chances to be a good Cup driver, and he has not proven himself. He got the ride at Childress his first year. He got the Germain Racing ride in the 13 car. He got fucking how many other rides? He cannot do shit.
Just to watch, what's going to happen is that Tyler's going to keep saying these things that he's not good, and then he's going to win the Daytona 500, and he's going to prove Tyler wrong.
If Harrison Burton can win a Cup race, I guess so can Ty Dillon, but until he does that, I will keep complaining.
And technically, Austin Dillon hasn't won a race either, if you think about it. Because I'm not counting the Daytona win.
True.
But I am counting that Richmond win, because that Richmond win should have been won.
True.
But Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin had to complain. But anyways.
True. That really pisses me off. It really pisses me off that Ty Dillon gets the ride. There's so many other drivers that are have such a higher ceiling and deserve that ride so much more than he does.
Heck, Eric Almirola.
Well, he opted not to drive, so he's in retirement. But yes, he's more deserving than Ty Dillon. Fuck, give the ride to Harrison Burton. He's at least won a Cup race. I don't know. It's my rant. Anyway, the other piece of news, the biggest piece of news, I said last week or the week before, I don't remember, that I thought the 2311 front row shit was done. It's not. Because they sued NASCAR. So let's take a look at some of this. So they're suing NASCAR for... if I remember, I got it pulled up right here. They're suing for...
I love how 2311 is a newer team, and then all of a sudden they didn't like what they said, so they're like, I wonder what we can do with this. Sue button.
They're both suing. They're suing NASCAR over mainly, again, the charter thing, as well as revenue sharing. So let's take a look a little bit more about this. With the season coming down to an anti-anticlimactic finish, two NASCAR teams, one co-owned by legendary basketball player, Hall of Fame Michael Jordan, sued the motorsport business and its CEO Jim France, calling them bullies. Together, we brought this antitrust clause so that racing can thrive and become a more competitive and fair sport in ways that will benefit teams, drivers, sponsors, and most importantly, fans. Which both teams said in a joint statement. No other professional sport in North America is run by a single family that enriches themselves through these kinds of unchecked monopolistic practices. They have a point. They have a good point there. I mean, they are kind of running it like a monopoly. I mean, just look at how Brian France did. So, I mean, they make some good points. They really do. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. But I think they have a good standing here, and I definitely think that they can make it work. So,
Imagine if 2311 actually wins the argument.
that would be pretty crazy. But I wouldn't be too surprised because like they seem to have a good amount of they seem to have some good standing from like fans and the media and whatnot, and I think even other teams at NASCAR are starting to push up with them too. So maybe they'll have some sort of standing here, and maybe things will change. Maybe the France family will be gone. Maybe I can buy NASCAR.
Maybe Michael Jordan. Maybe it could be called not NASCAR anymore. It could be called the Pringleson Racing Series.
That's right, baby, and I will be rich.
And then you can make Michigan an actual good track without it raining.
Yeah, I'll put a dome on it. We'll be good.
So what? It'll be like what is it called? What is the name? It starts with a K. Dang it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a dirt track, but it has a dome around it. They call it the Dirt Derby, I think, or something.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
But, yeah.
It'd be like that, except on a larger scale.
Yes.
We'll see. Hey, NASCAR Enterprises, if you need a new owner, call me. Just saying. That's really all the news that I had. I mean, there's the other big thing, I guess, is a lot of NASCAR teams and drivers are, including most notably Greg Biffle, are helping out with the relief efforts from the Hurricane Helene tragedy. It's a terrible tragedy, but they are doing some good work to help out there, so I do commend them on that. Using their resources, using their wealth, using their power to help assist these people, providing helicopters and other resources to help with the relief efforts. So that's really good, because a lot of the heart of NASCAR country, the Carolinas, Bristol, Virginia, all of them were very much hit by what happened with the hurricane. So it's good to see them helping out there. So that's all that I really had, though. Surprisingly, that was kind of surprising to me. So
What's it called? What is it called? What is it called? Ah! Starting with the letter K.
let me look it up. I got my old cell phone here.
Eldora, no. Knoxville. There it is.
Oh, Knoxville's a dome? Insane.
I think Knoxville's a dome, unless I'm stupid. It's not a dome! Then I'm thinking of the wrong one!
Look at that. There's one in St. Louis. Well, the dome.
I think that's. I just can't think of the name.
It just says St. Louis dirt track racing.
Hmm.
I don't know.
They probably just made it after the Rams decided to leave and just expect.
That's probably true, actually. Yeah.
They're like, you know what? What would make more money? I got it. Dirt track.
Dirt track in our domed stadium.
Well, actually, the UFL team actually plays there too. So, anyways, on to.
Talladega. Woo! It's gonna be a good one. Should be at least. It should be a good race. Lots of excitement to be had at the biggest and baddest track on the NASCAR schedule. There's a lot of questions. I mean, you know, the Truck Series and the Cup Series are in the midst of their. I guess all three are now in the midst of their playoff runs. So there's going to be huge stakes there, but also you know, all the kinds of action. NASCAR said that they've been working on some other stuff with, like, for the cars, right? You know, aerodynamics and whatnot. There's been the whole thing with the flips. We can't forget the flips. I mean, that happened at Daytona and also Michigan. So we'll see if Talladega there's a flip.
I never got to see.
There was the flip. There were two flips actually in the same wreck at Talladega in the Cup race back in April. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any more of those. But overall, we know two things. One, probably going to be an unpredictable winner. Two, there's going to be a big wreck. Three, it's going to be exciting. We know those three things going in right now. So the rest is kind of just up to us, up to the racing gods and Talladega itself. So all three series are racing this weekend. In fact, the Truck Series at the time of this video going up is going to be starting in about an hour and a half. So let's just get these predictions in so we can go watch it.
Yeah.
Like we're actually going to watch it.
No.
I probably
yeah. Because you put it up around.
Yeah.
On Friday, right?
Yeah. So who do we think's going to win the Truck Series race?
Well, since anyone can win, and anyone can have a chance to win, I'm going to go with... I'm still trying to look here. Here, you pick yours, and then I'll pick mine if I can find it.
I'm going to pick Leland Honeycutt because I like the name. And also, he's been having some solid runs, but hasn't really been able to put it together for a good win yet. And I think, you know, he's going to have the speed and also the unpredictability efforts, I think, are going to be in his favor, and I think he can get the win. So that's who I'm picking.
I'm trying to find if there's any other people in this race that are trash. Oh, there's also one more news that I'll say after this. You know what? Fuck it.
Hohenheim.
Okay.
Xfinity Series.
What's your news?
I'll say it after all of our picks.
Okay. My pick for the Xfinity Series? Shit, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I want to pick, like, Brandon Jones. But I feel like he's just going to wreck. I think I'm going to pick... Oh, that's it. I'm going to pick Ryan Sieg. Motherfucker needs to finally win a race And what better place to do it than Talladega?
Cool. Cool. I am going to choose
Leland Honeyman to win this race. Number 42 Chevy for Young's Motorsport.
Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, then it's time for our Cup Series prediction.
in this NASCAR Cup. Well,
Perfect.
Tyler won last week. Only 3
As always.
I guess Bubba Wallace. I forgot to take that with us. Okay, we're doing this again. Forgot to
What?
take Joe Logano's run out. I forgot to
What?
take Joe Logano's out. Bush. He'll actually get his win because Tyler picked him.
True. True.
So both of us are going to have a competition.
Hey, not a bad couple of drivers right there, Bush and Byron. So
Feeling lucky.
not too bad, not too bad.
Awesome.
Haley Deegan's also pregnant, by the way.
Interesting.
All right, now you can continue your shtick.
Okay, that's going to do it, though, for this episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast. Next week, we will recap Talladega. We will preview the Roval and hopefully do some other cool stuff. So it should be really, really fun. But if you want to be a guest on this episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast, all you got to do is join the Pringles Land Company Discord. Link is in the description down below. Request the Talking NASCAR role from both me or Hitmaster, and we will get you the role. We'll figure out a time to get you on and talk some NASCAR. So that's going to do it, though, for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more stuff from both me and Hitmaster. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.